These are the slopes of Mount Gilboa, the specific geographical site where a long and bitter rivalry finally came to a bloody end. For years, this landscape was the backdrop to an exhausting, one-sided manhunt. King Saul relentlessly pursued David across the wilderness, giving David every human justification to harbor a deep, vengeful hatred. But then, devastating news arrives from the battlefield. Both Saul and his son, Jonathan, have been killed. Overnight, the ultimate obstacle to the throne vanishes. David's greatest threat is completely erased, and his forced exile is over. The news is delivered by an Amalekite messenger, who claims he personally struck the killing blow to Saul. To prove his story, he presents David with the fallen king's royal crown. The expectation for a moment like this is clear. The messenger assumes he will be handsomely rewarded for handing the kingdom directly to a rival. A massive power vacuum has instantly opened up, and the path of least resistance is laid out right in front of David. In this chaotic moment, the pressing question is whether David will seize power through standard political opportunism, or if he is governed by a completely different law. David's immediate reaction shatters every political expectation. He rejects the prize entirely, ordering the messenger's execution. His response is driven by a strict, uncompromising principle: absolute reverence for God's anointed leader. David doesn't see the Amalekites' claim as a convenient favor. By taking credit for killing the king, the messenger has confessed to a blasphemous, capital crime against the divine order. For David, strict adherence to God's sovereignty carries far more weight than celebrating his own political triumph. Then, justice gives way to profound sorrow. David pens a devastating lament, the Song of the Bow, expressing overwhelming grief for his closest companion, Jonathan. Shockingly, David also offers genuine praise for Saul, separating his personal suffering from Saul's rightful position. This reveals an incredible breadth of character. In this moment, grief totally eclipses any desire for vengeance, proving David's ability to transcend his private grievances. With Saul's death, the years of flight and pursuit are over. This chapter records the conclusion of a long, painful era in Israel's history. Just as these physical foundations anchor an ancient city, David's rejection of the Amalekites' opportunism ensures his own rise begins on a base of integrity. He demonstrates a commitment to prioritizing God's will and honoring those who came before him, establishing a standard for how he will eventually use his authority. By choosing restraint at the exact moment a crown was placed in his hands, David shows he is ready for the responsibilities that lie ahead. When we look at how modern leaders and society typically react to the downfall of a bitter rival, the contrast is stark. It is incredibly rare to find someone who can step into absolute power and utterly abandon their personal grudges in the process. David manages to hold two immense concepts together: the capacity for fierce public justice and heavy, empathetic private grief. His reaction on that day stands as a challenging, eternal standard for anyone entrusted with authority. It defines exactly what it means to be a leader after God's own heart.